Hi everyone, it's Heidi Smith here from Flutter by Heidi, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator based here in the United Kingdom. And today I'm creating a little project using the Queen Anne's Lace beautiful stamp set. And this is one of the stamp sets that you can either purchase, or if you wanted to join Stampin' Up as a demonstrator, at the moment for £99 you get £130 worth of product, which is our usual offer, plus you get this Queen Anne's Lace stamp set and another one, which name escapes me right now, along with the supplies to make 16 cards. A fabulous offer. Now, whether you want to join because you think you'd like to start creating and selling cards, or you'd like to start teaching other people how to create cards and boxes and things, either way, you know, it's a fabulous offer, and this stamp set is a really useful one. You can see here you've got a beautiful detailed floral image, some super sentiments, and you've got this lovely infill as well. Great for card making, but also great for gifting. And so I'm using the Queen Anne's Lace stamp set. I'm using the Playing with Patterns resin dots. So these come in Purple Posy, Crushed Curry and Coastal Cabana. But I've actually used it here with some Magenta Madness and some Just Jade as well to create this little gift pouch. Really simple little idea, and I've used the Flowers for Every Season ribbon combo. So this is one of 3 ribbons that you get in a pack. The other one is this lovely Baker's Twine that you've got here, and no, that's the other combo. Can't remember. Oh, it might be that one. Oh, yes, might well. No, it isn't that one. Anyway, I'll find it, but I'll have the link in my blog post. So when you open this up, so you've just got some sort of simple layering, just a lovely little tie on the side, and this is a bit of pick-me-up for someone I know who's going through a cancer diagnosis at the moment, and I thought, you know what, sometimes we need something just to perk us up, and these I've found are absolutely wonderful. Fabulous company called blurtitout.org. Give shout out to them. I got those from there, but they're available all over the place, and what they are is mood patches, and they're just like little eye rejuvenators, revivers, eye gels that have got aromatherapy in sort of sense. So patchology, mood patch, absolutely great and lovely. If somebody needs a little pick me up, just a little refresh, they come in all sorts of all sorts of types. So this is a rejuvenating one, but this one is called Happy Place. That's a mood patch, and there's also this one which is chill mode. And these are, I love them. And say this is just a very simple little pouch that you can quickly rustle up when you want to just gift somebody something, just to cheer them up. You know, when you're going through a tough time, particularly if something, you know, health issues, this could just be what they need. And I've used the infill stamp here actually just to create a bit of pattern background on those as well. So that's what I'm making. Let's get started. So I'm going to do my other one. I thought Just Jade would actually work quite well with this. So let's clear the decks, and you'll need your a trimmer, and you want a piece of cardstock that is I have got inches measurements. It's 11 3/4 or 29.5 centimetres, and you're going to cut it down on the short edge to 15 centimetres, so 6 1/4 inches, or 6 inches. 6 inches will probably work. I will double check those for you. So then we're going to do some scoring. Very simple scoring on this one. On the long edge you're going to score at 3.5, and I'm just using the right hand side for this one. Oh, I haven't trimmed it to 29.5, so let's turn it around, and you're just taking a tiny sliver off the end there. It's just so the measurements work. So I've turned it to 3.5. I'm then going to score at 14.5, at 15, and at 26 centimetres. And then on the short edge, I'm just going to score at 1.5 centimetres on each side. So you can do it at 1.5 on this, and then just flip it round, and 1.5 again, or you can measure it at 13.5 on the left hand one, whichever you prefer. Okay. You're then going to want a layer of cardstock to go on the top there. So as I've used my, I'm just going to reverse the colourway on this one and use some of my Magenta Madness. So, and you want a bit of Whisper White as well. So just ordinary Whisper White, and you want a piece that's 8.5 by 9.5. So let's go 8.5 by 9.5. And your next piece you want to be 9 by 10. So typical, I picked a piece that is not quite big enough. That was the other piece. Okay, so let's go 9 by 10 centimetres, and that just gives a 0.5 centimetre border all the way around. Just gives it a nice little layer, as you can see here. Just pick up on that colour. Okay, so now we can do some construction. Always a good idea to use a bone folder, because it just helps you get really nice sharp creases, and just reinforce all of those score lines that you've just created. The trickiest ones are these ones in the middle where they're sort of quite narrow. So if you fold it in from each end, that generally will do the trick. Just make sure you're sort of lining it up, make sure you're nice and square. These narrow ones are the ones that sort of are quite happy to go their own way. And then we're going to do a bit of trimming. So if you grab your snips and you're just going to cut away these outer squares, and I'm not notching, I'm just cutting them out square this time. So 4 corners all away first, like so. And then you're going to just take out these 2 narrow pieces in the middle here. Now what I'm actually going to cut that at an angle and make it a little bit easier. So I'm not measuring, but it's about sort of 45 degrees, so just across the corner. If you wanted to measure it, obviously you could do. So but I'm just going to come across and just snip along that middle section. So there we have our card. Now decide which is going to be the front. Doesn't make any difference at all. And I'm just going to use a bit of post-it note just to mask off at the side. You could use a scrap piece of paper if you wanted to. I like using a post-it note because it doesn't move. So I just want to make sure that my front panel, I'm just going to have the design just in that centre section, like so. So just masking off a little bit. And I'm going to use the Just Jade ink to create our pattern. So here's my Just Jade. I've got my infill stamp here, which I'm going to use. Now I'm just going to clean that off on my Simply Chamois, and then just come in, and all I'm doing is just creating a sort of random pattern, and I'm just going to cover up those 2 pieces as well, so I don't have any. Okay. So ink it up, and then all I did was I just stamped and sort of popped these in at a bit of an angle, and tried to get my pattern around the outside edge as much as possible, because that's the bit that's going to be visible around the layer that I create. Stamp off a little bit if you want to, and on this top bit here just come in. So it just creates quite just a random spiral. So I can just again clean that, because I'm going to be using it for my Magenta Madness, so just give it a really good clean. Now on this one I haven't worried about using my Stampin' Pierce mat because for my photopolymer stamping. The reason is there isn't the detail on this sort of block image, so you don't have to worry about getting a really good impression. But I am going to use it for my layers. So here's my my centre panel, and I'm just going to pop a little scrap piece of grid paper for my stamping, because I'm going to stamp off, because the Magenta Madness is a really strong colour, I just wanted to just soften it a little bit. So ink up our detailed image stamp, and I'm just going to pop that to there, and then come in with my Magenta Madness. Now, as I said, because this is a strong colour, I'm just going to stamp off once and then come in. And this is just to kind of echo the slightly sort of more subtle colours on those eye patches that we've got. Next, let's have a look. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is stamp my sentiment, and just a simple best wishes. You could use whichever colour you wanted on that. I'm just going to put that in there. And then my playful dots, my resin dots, which I seem to have managed to lose. There we go. And you could use any of these colours really, but what I thought, Purple Posy would obviously go with this as well. I'm just going to use my take your pick tool. I think I might actually use some of the sunshiny ones. Just to kind of add just a little bit of interest. And they're great if you happen to have, let's just say, found yourself with an opportunity for embellishment. In other words, I've stuck my finger in the ink pad, my usual trick. These are great for covering that up. What I should have done is probably add my glue before I added my dimension on there. So I'm just going to just carefully go around with my Stampin' Seal here. Stampin' Seal, just remember you just need to kind of give a little bit of a tick at the end of using it, just to release it. You could gut the centre out of this piece of card if you wanted to be frugal. I often do. So there we go. And let's grab our outer piece, and all we do with this is I'm going to use my Seal Plus. So you want something slightly stronger because there is a little bit of pressure on these once you've got the contents in. Just fold those up and give them a good burnish down in the corner. Same on the other side. Now these have got little like tear off strips, so they automatically sort of detach at the end of that. So again, just burnish well. And then I'm going to pop a piece of my ribbon around there. Now I reckon you're going to need enough to tie a bow. So probably about 18 inches, something like that. Use your fabric scissors to cut a nice angle at the end there, keeping it nice. And I'm just going to put a small strip of Stampin' Seal across the middle there, so my Stampin' Seal Plus, just to help keep it in place. So fold your ribbon in half, roughly. Add your ribbon. And being sort of white linen, this just works really well with any colourway. You could, of course, spray it if you wanted to, using some of our Stampin' Spritzers. Those are absolutely fantastic. And what you're doing is when you now you can put your dimensionals on the back, just lift that up slightly, and I'll put one sort of above and below where the ribbon is going to be as well, just to help support that, and one in each corner. Now, I haven't done my usual trick of drawing on the back of those dimensionals, so I'm kind of trying to work methodically, removing those little backings as we go along. And you'll see there that just using that infill image just creates a really pretty background. And all you need to do now is add our little eye pouches in there. We actually need to stick that on straight. Okay, I haven't pressed it down too hard, so there we go. I'm just going to ease that. That's better. So it actually is straighter. And then all you do is just slide those little pouches in, and there's just enough, because, you know, with the depth that you create in the middle there, for that to fold up and create a really pretty little gift. And then you can tie a ribbon on the front edge there, just trimming that down, pulling it in closer and tie it nice and tight. And there we have a pair of pretty pouches for some little eye gel treats for a friend who might need a little bit of perking up at the moment. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy making this project, and I really would recommend this Queen Anne's Lace stamp set, whether you buy it on its own or join my team and get it as part of your joining offer, because it is a really versatile stamp set. Thank you. And if you want to purchase, just follow the links on my blog post at flutterbyheidi.co.uk, or go straight to my Stampin' Up shop at heidismith.stampinup.net. Thanks for watching. Bye.